Have you ever thought about how many students at your university take out student loans each year? Well, here's a crazy fact. The national student debt loan has increased to over $1.4 trillion, dollars, and over the past 13 years, this amount increased by $2,600 every second. Student debt is increasing exponentially, and its boundaries are currently unknown. This issue affects 70% of college students and will continue to increase if universities do not take action. To fully comprehend this problem, one must understand why this is occurring and what some solutions are.
To show the true severity of this issue, we will compare it to other everyday issues. The price of medical expenses has rose by 600% in the past 40 years, and the price of food has gone up by 200%. Yet college tuitions have increased by almost 1,200% in the past 40 years. Student loan debt is now the second highest consumer debt category, behind only mortgage debt, and higher than both credit cards and auto loans. More and more students are unable to afford the full price due to this increase, which results in more student loans being taken out.
One of the biggest reasons for this is that universities continue to become more corporatized and are turning into a profit center run by senior managerial control. Jobs like marketing, recruitment, and student services are becoming institutional priorities over education, all of which require more people in those positions to keep the system running. A primary reason this has happened is that many universities have been deprived of public funding and therefore have to switch to these sorts of models to stay in business. Another method of spending that has caused tuition to rise is the increase of spending on housing and fitness facilities, where universities attempt to justify their increase in tuition. Additionally, the rise in costs can be directly related to the advancement of federal loan money, making it possible for students to take out large sums of money to pay for college. Incoming students are willing to pay the increased tuition in part due to the recent college rankings, where schools ranked high become more attractive and can cause students to pay full price.
The state that one lives in can affect the amount of debt placed upon them, as certain states have much higher average debt than others. The two highest are New Hampshire and Pennsylvania, with an average of $36,101 and $34,798 respectively. This could be due to the average income in those states, but could also be due to the level of education that those students strive for. The prestige of attending a high-level school like one in the Ivy League can cause students and parents to dismiss the outrageous cost because of the prestigious degree the student will eventually receive. While there is no easy solution to the massive debt, there are alternative methods that schools could use to try to decrease the damaging costs of tuition and the student loans.
Income-based repayment is one solution for those who struggle with federal student loans. This plan adjusts monthly payments so that students will pay no more than 15% of their current income towards the loans. This can be very beneficial for those who desperately need more flexibility in their monthly budget. The timeline is also stretched from 10 to 25 years. Though you end up paying more interest in the long run, it's a worthy solution for those who cannot afford student loan payments during their time in college. Also, if one is unable to pay the loans after 25 years, the government will forgive any remaining debt, relieving some unnecessary stress down the line. On the flip side, there is a solution for those who need to make sense of all the envelopes and letters regarding their student loans. The Special Direct Consolidation Loan Program allows students to group all of their government-backed loans into one monthly bill. This can be helpful for those struggling with all the various payments they have to make and are unable to formulate a consistent plan to pay it off. By doing this, they will be able to focus solely on the amount paid monthly and determine the best way to manage the loans from there, and eventually get rid of it. Additionally, the Department of Education takes off 0.25% on your interest rate on each loan in the consolidation.
Finally, a third option represents hope for those who don't believe they can ever pay off their debt. The Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program allows students to eliminate the entire remaining debt after 10 years of working full-time at a qualifying public service job. These types of jobs include those with federal, state, and local government agencies, as well as any tax-exempt nonprofit organization. While these don't eliminate the debt put upon students, it gives them the flexibility and can relieve stress as they navigate through college and beyond.
Outside of these programs, colleges can do a number of other things to get started on this issue. The problem is that universities tend to be stubborn with their spending and likely won't be persuaded to crack down on helping students. Universities can spend less on research and administrative tasks that don't involve enrolled students and can minimize the cost of room and board by creating more off-campus housing or alternative boarding. Putting the student's best interest first will go a long way to cutting back on the enormous costs of attending a university.
Student debt is an issue that requires major attention in order for it to improve in any way over the coming decades. As of right now, the only ways to fight the issue are with various programs to help students manage the costs of a college education. On top of this, universities will need to cut back on unnecessary funding and do their best to prioritize their students as opposed to alums or current researchers not actually enrolled in the college. Student debt will continue to increase if these issues are not addressed.